The future of radio.
Future of radio.
The future of radio.
The future of radio.
The future.
The future of radio is here.
Funemploymentradio.com.
And we're back.
Oh my gosh.
I'm about 85% back. I'll say that.
And I'm going through puberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Hello.
happening.
Times will change. We've got to rearrange. But still, Alaska took a little bit out of us, but nonetheless, we survived.
But we shall rebuild.
And we weren't eaten by bears. Number one most important thing, as I've stated many times, 3 out of 10 people that visit the state of Alaska are eaten by bears.
We will miss the 3 that we lost on our
There were
trip
3
terribly.
people. We won't say who, but in memoriam of those 3 people that joined us, sorry.
Yeah.
You were just too
You
slow.
took a chance.
You were just
took
too
a
slow.
chance.
That's the bottom line. Hello, everyone. This is Fun Employment Radio. I am Greg Nibbler here with Sarah X. Dillon. Thank you so much for tuning in today, wherever and however you listen. It is so fantastic that you do so. Of course, we are live here 5 days a week on the Fun Employment Radio Network, and then available via podcast all over the internet, wherever podcasts can be found. And thank you for finding us. We have so much to talk to you about. Of course, we just concluded our FER adventure, which hashtag FER Adventure, hashtag FER Alaska, was our trip up to Alaska. And it was a roaring success.
Oh my gosh. It was like, I knew it was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't really quite grasp how amazing it was going to be.
Yeah, and it's something that Sarah and I have been talking about for a while. I mean, if you're a longtime listener to the show, you know we've kind of toyed with the idea of doing more travel shows and trying to take the show on the road more. And we've done some test runs before. We did a test run in Alaska a couple years ago. We did some in Hawaii. This time we decided to make it so people could come along and join us, and they did. And it was amazing.
Oh my God.
You know, that's one of those things where we hadn't done it before, so we're like, oh, how's this going to work? Are we going to find enough for everybody to do? Is
And
it
I
going to be
think
entertaining?
everyone was kind
Are
of
people going to have
wondering.
fun?
Yeah.
I think everybody.
Everyone was just like, how is this going to work? I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. We're all going to do this together and
Right.
see what happens.
And thank you to all of you. I just want to say this off the top. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, but thank you to those of you that took a chance on Fun Employment Radio on what a travel adventure would be like with us and joining us up there. Thank you so much. Each and every one of you are awesome. And we just wanted to, it was just such a great time.
It was I can't stress, in groups of people, sometimes, there's someone you're like, oh, that's the one. It's like, oh, well, maybe they don't quite fit in like the others. There was not a single person like that. Everyone.
No. And not everybody knew each other. It was just,
New friendships were formed, adventures were had.
Yeah.
It was just everything I wanted and more.
Yeah, it really was. So thank you, everybody that joined us. Larry's in the chat right now. Carrie, Trina, Dimitri, Matt. Bob. Everybody that came up with us. It was just such a good time.
Oh yeah.
And
then my buddy Kelsey, who came and flew in.
And of course, and Lisa. Lisa joining us also from San Francisco.
Yep.
It was it was so much fun. And everybody was awesome.
I will say this is the most tired that I have been after a vacation ever. Even post Mexico or post when we went to Alaska.
Right.
We did a lot
We packed a lot in.
We packed a lot in.
We
when we were there.
Yeah, we packed a lot into a short amount of time. So thank you to all of them. And of course, Gavin and Becky for being the fine hosts. And that's where we recorded the live show, which will be up on video here at some point.
Yes.
Somebody messed up the audio and has to fix it. I don't know who that would be.
It was
That's
Kenny.
in charge of that. Yep, Kenny.
Yep.
Who wasn't there, but Kenny screwed that up.
Yep.
So the audio recording of the podcast is up, but the video recording, we'll get that fixed, and then it'll be up. But thank you to Gavin and Becky for hosting us. And of course, Stone, who joined us also for some Courage, which I don't think we've done a show since Courage performed. That's the one thing about Alaska.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah, since Courage performed at the podcast festival.
Yeah, since Courage performed in Alaska.
Oh,
we haven't
okay.
done a podcast
Because you
since
said
then.
in Courage, and then when Courage performed, I was like, wait, what?
Courage
Which one?
performed in Alaska on Saturday.
I think I know that I was there.
But we haven't done a podcast since then, so
Yes.
we will talk about that. But yeah, it was just so much fun. So that's part of the problem, though, with Alaska. One thing that we did realize is that Alaska's internet is basically in 1998. So uploading files takes a long time if they work at all.
It was dial-up for the most part.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, basically everybody had an Angel Fire website, and I think that's pretty much how.
And Greg and my cell phone service didn't work. I have so many text messages that I will never see. People wrote me. I don't know who's mad at me who thinks that I just ignored them, because I would get these text messages in. I wasn't getting anybody's names. They weren't attached to the phone numbers, and every text message was an attachment that I couldn't open.
And part
I'm
of
sorry
that's,
if anyone thinks that I was ignoring them. they're gone. Like all of them have expired. I can't do anything about it.
Part of that's the service Sarah and I have.
Yeah, our
but
service is kind of shitty.
Yeah, so we learned a lesson there. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, it was so much fun. So let's just say this. There will be more FER adventure opportunities coming. And we have lots of videos that are going to be going up of this on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We have so much to go through, and there's so much material that's going to get uploaded, and all that's going to be happening over the coming weeks. We'll have tons of stuff to upload, but there will be FER adventures in the future. This one was so successful. We're doing it again.
Like I want to do it as soon as I get my voice back. Like I'm ready.
Yeah.
I get like 7,000 more hours of sleep. Then I'm
Right.
ready to go again.
Approximately 7,000 hours. I'm not going to say when, and we're not going to say where it's going to be, but we will have another one, and so we'll let you know when that happens because it was so good. But yeah, let's go back and talk about just everything that went on with this, because
Yes.
we have some things to talk about on today's show, including some video. I don't know what's going on with it. That we're gonna
This was
we'll
some
play
last
some audio
minute video.
that Sarah and I weren't even there for this.
No,
And
but it happened while we were in Alaska, and it is. Oh man, it's like don't even say anything else. about
Okay.
it.
All
Yeah.
right. All
Okay.
right. It's very hard not to.
That's it.
So when last we left off for our episodes, we had just gone on the pub crawl the night before.
We did
an Anchorage pub crawl.
Yes, and I believe that was the end of my voice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like,
That one was
yeah.
mine was after Courage. That's the one that took it out for me, because you forget how much it takes out of you.
Well, and also Alaska's very dry. Like I'm just looking at, and Carrie's in the chat right now. And
Yeah.
she was talking about how she also lost her voice, and she never does it. Like it was weird. I woke up on that Thursday morning when we were doing our show. I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
Like it's scary. I can't even remember the last time I've lost my voice, and for this long of a time too.
Yeah.
It's been days.
Yeah. So apologies for the voices today. But
Yeah.
we're getting them back.
Yeah,
They're working.
The substance behind the voices is still there. But
Right.
The
That's
voices
still
are
that's
kind
still
of-
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did the pub crawl up there in Anchorage, and we talked a lot about that, I think, on the last episode. But one thing, I don't know if we mentioned the bull riding side aspect of it.
I
Did
don't
we talk
think we
about that?
did.
So Anchorage, it kind of is the Wild West in a lot of ways. I mean, Alaska as a whole is one thing, and there's a lot of. I mean, Alaska's beautiful
And
hands down.
terrifying.
Well, yeah, and terrifying out in the out in the wilderness.
And
There's
out
all the
on-
animals that'll eat you. But in Anchorage is different than Alaska as a whole. Anchorage is its own thing.
Now you're talking about also the animals that will eat you on the streets of Anchorage. And by that I mean the crazy people.
Well, yes, the crazy people. That's the dangerous thing in the city of Anchorage. Yeah, there's a lot of. It's the Wild West. It is the Wild West, and so there's some craziness that does go on with it.
And the day before the Courage show was one of the scariest times in the city.
Yeah, that's when you witnessed a bunch of stuff. That we did talk about the prostitute fight.
Oh yeah, the prostitute fight. No, that was the day before. But then when you and I were walking in the city before the Courage show, I remember the guy who was walking on the street like toward us, and there was that guy laying on the side that was a little terrifying.
Yeah. There was a guy laying on the side. Yeah, there's a lot of strange things that went on with that. So and that's just in the city. Now, the bull riding thing was the one where we went to the show. What is the name of the bar? The Gaslight.
No, it was Gaslight. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
Gaslight.
Yeah.
Okay, Gaslight, where they have this in the middle of the bar, just like a random bar. We had they create this a whole bunch of pads, and they have an actual like mechanical bull there. And there's just one guy who it's his job is to control the mechanical bull and clearly just annoy everybody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he looks like he enjoys his job too much, like enjoys his job to the extent of
He just
like,
really wants to like hurt people.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's what he looked
yeah.
like.
Yeah, and that's and we all kind of rode it, and there's a bunch of videos that went up. I think we just shared one that Larry took of me riding around in the bull. And
Which, by the way, you're pretty good at riding around on the bull.
I
I was not great
I was
at
all
riding
right.
on the
My
bull.
dismount was a little lackluster. It was more just
No, your dismount was pretty graceful. Mine was kind of like almost a cartwheel off of it. Yeah.
You think I have a future in it? I could
No.
ride some bulls.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I would never want to do it.
No.
No.
No, I think I was glad that was like the company that I would have done it in. I'm never riding doing one of those bull things again
Yeah.
because I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just didn't. It's scary. I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt myself because I'm very accident prone. So I don't think I could do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I would do it again up there. Like I would do that one, but I don't think I would do one anywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I would do. So it was so much fun, and so we went from there, and did that whole night. And then the next night was when Courage performed in Alaska, which it turns out right across the street. If you've heard us talk about the frozen ground thing for the butcher baker of Anchorage, it was right across the street from apparently where the butcher baker's bakery was.
It was where his bakery was. So we saw like Trina and Dimitri and Matt all running across the street, and we're like, why the hell are they taking a picture in front of the cash and carry over there?
Yeah.
Or the cash for less, or it was some sort of place. It's closed now. So
Right.
whatever it was, it's not there anymore, as is the butcher shop. So we're like, why are they taking pictures in front of this? Until we realized that was what that was.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so Robert Hansen's bakery was there,
Yeah.
which is nuts. So he, of course, was the guy who we talked about on the show, who was the murderer. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Look him up.
Yeah.
If
Look
you
him
know who
up.
he
I
is.
mean, it's fascinating. And did you watch Frozen Ground again? I can't remember.
Yes.
You did.
I watched it right before we left.
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
God,
Right,
it's
that's
just
right.
it's just disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not a shocker, but I mean, just rewatching it and then also being in Alaska and being in Anchorage and seeing like the poverty and some of the prostitutes, because you do see a lot of prostitutes
There's a lot
there.
of prostitutes. Hey, it's the Wild West. I
And
mean,
you
you're
see
gonna
it.
get some
I will say
prostitutes.
that movie prostitutes about Anchorage look a lot different than actual Anchorage prostitutes.
There's a slight
quite
difference.
There's just a teeny tiny difference. Just teeny tiny. No, oh my gosh. Like Anchorage prostitutes are like, wow. Like
Yeah.
everything in Anchorage just seems like it wants to kill you.
I know we're not selling it very well by
It's a
saying
beautiful
that.
place. No, and it was so much fun, but I'm saying like particular areas, and it's not all of them, but some areas.
Yeah, some of the areas.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, know what you're expecting. Like,
Yeah.
some places
oh, for sure.
are like, I'm sticking my valuables in my socks and hoping for the best.
I don't know if it's well, yeah, depending on the time of day. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be. Yeah,
Yeah, depending.
That's
on the
why you
time of
travel
day.
in groups. and
Yeah,
then you're just
always
fine.
travel in groups.
Travel in groups. It's much better
Like
that
a
way.
Fun Employment Radio adventure group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it probably wouldn't be a good place to go solo. If you're going to and I've traveled solo before. I've traveled to Europe and back by myself, and I mean, I'm for like a couple of weeks in Europe. I would not do a couple of weeks in Anchorage on my own. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I
I
think
feel
that's a
like you
little
get
risky.
you get marked very easily. Like I
That's a
felt
little
at one
risky.
point when Greg and I were walking, like we were kind of surrounded by a couple of straight. It kind of seemed like
Yeah.
we were being marked for something, and I was starting to get really freaked out. And I don't usually get freaked out, but like my inside of me was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here! What are you doing?"
Yeah. There's some rougher areas, but just be careful where you go. But either way, it's an
That's
awesome
all.
place, and it
Yeah.
is so much fun to go up there. It really is. And so the Courage show, which was fun in its own right. So we ended up playing at this place called Van's Dive Bar. That's the name of the club, and it is a classic dive bar. I mean, it's designed to be a dive bar, and it is, and it was magical. So it's this place. It's really close to
was.
downtown Anchorage, and of course we played with the High Pets, which is Gavin and Becky's band. Check them out on Spotify. Buy their albums; they are amazing. They are really, really
Oh my
amazing live.
God,
Like
yeah.
they're really good. And so the High Pets played, and then after Courage played was Tricky and the Get Down, which is David, who I went to high school with.
Which is so funny because when you see David, he's like this big, manly dude, and like I did not expect a band called Tricky and the Get Down to be like fronted by him.
Yeah.
It just didn't, because it seems like so whimsical.
Right.
And he's just like, and the music was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to expect.
Didn't
when
expect
I heard-
David Gonzalez to sound like that.
Yeah.
Have the voice of an angel, as
Have
he's
the
up there
voice
singing.
of an angel. No, it just sounded like some sort of Sublime cover band to me. Like the
Yeah,
name
Tricky
of
and the Get Down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very Alaska name. It's
Yeah.
a very, very Alaska name for a band. But yeah, so they played after us. But Courage, man, so that night getting there, obviously there's a lot of things where this is the first time, and if you've never seen Courage, couragemusic.com, you can check it out there. And we're real brief. We're like Spinal. It's like Spinal Tap, I guess. That's the closest I can say. And that there's
Or somebody
personas.
else was comparing like Tenacious D almost a little bit.
Tenacious D a little bit, yeah, for some of the music. Yeah, Tenacious D meets
Yeah.
Spinal Tap, that kind of music. So that's what we are. And I of course wear my outfit for it. I've got my leopard print tights and my
You really do have those tights. You do
my
like those
cut
tights.
off shirt. Yeah, no, it's a good addition to the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that on, and we've been fortunate enough to play Courage shows at Fun Employment Radio events or the podcast festival, where we have a pretty friendly crowd who's aware of what we do and who's into the performance. Here, there's a lot of people that had no idea what Courage was. And so I put on that outfit beforehand and walk around, and usually I have a wig. My wig, I brought the wrong one. which sounds weird even saying it. I brought my wrong wig.
Yeah,
So-
it's true. I know you were so sad when you
Yeah,
got
I
your
did.
wrong
I
wig.
was. I did. But I have my leopard print hat and everything that I wear.
And you
around.
also forgot your sunglasses, which Greg, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Russell Spanker III
Right.
borrowed a pair of my ridiculously huge sunglasses, which went perfectly with your outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You looked like such a diva. It was like a trashy diva. It was amazing.
It was pretty ridiculous. So I was walking around in that, and I was getting some looks. Like, for one, I don't think the bartender really was sure what I was all about.
Oh, Alana, she was awesome. I think
She was not awesome to me.
Oh, see, she was awesome to me. We're Facebook friends now.
Are you?
Yeah.
No, I was like, I walked up in the thing. She just kind of stared at me like, "What do you want?" I'm like, I heard there are banned beers back there. What? I'm like, there's a banned beer. And then she just handed me the beer and like make me walk
Oh
away.
yeah, Alana
Like,
was sweet. We
Really?
chatted for a while.
No, a
Carrie's in
complete
the chat
opposite
too.
reaction.
She's saying that she had a great time talking to her. Oh yeah.
complete opposite reaction to me. It was very cold and businesslike when it came to me. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Again, just like when I got the free cookies and you don't.
Yeah, I know. Huh. All right. Well, anyway, she was friendly to me at first, and I was just walking around, and since I had the glasses on, I can. That's why I kind of like wearing the glasses before the crowd show, because I can see if other people are looking, and what their reaction is. And there was a lot of, like what's this dude's deal?
All right.
Okay.
Well, there was one person there stealing your thunder.
Yes, there was.
This has to be hands down one of the most well-dressed, like drunk people I have ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. I have never seen anything like this, and I wish we got video, but I didn't want to video somebody without their permission. From
Oh,
doing
she's probably
this.
in the background of a video somewhere. I
She
haven't got through all
probably
the
is.
footage yet.
Okay, so Greg is there, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they look so like Courage. They look ridiculous." Greg's in his outfit. Like, I think that's the most ridiculous thing we're gonna see in there. Then comes this lady in this skin tight, long black dress,
Yeah.
like makeup done, baubles, like looks super fancy,
Yeah.
like thin, fancy, like high heels, and she starts doing interpretive dances that would put like
To the high pets. Yeah.
to the high pets that would put anything else to shame. So Greg comes out and everyone's like, "Whoa, Greg!" Oh, Russell Spanker III, and then like Greg's everyone's attention was like immediately drawn away from Greg's to this drunk girl.
That's
who
where
was,
my attention was.
who was
I
on
was
her
watching-
knees, writhing on the floor,
Yeah.
like pretending to. I can't even
Yeah.
put it into words. If you were there, you saw it. Like everyone in the entire room, like it united every single person in that bar because everyone was looking around like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is happening?
What's
here?"
going on there? Well,
What's
I ended
going
up kind of talking to her because Carrie was having the Olive Courage sign her chest. So we were signing our name, and I was starting to do it, and that girl walked up and like kind of pulled me away, and I could not understand what she was saying. And I thought it was the drunk girl, something about drunk girl, and I didn't know what she was saying. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Yeah.
And then she was trying to stop me from doing that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. I still have no clue what she was trying to tell me. And then I started
Yeah, she
signing.
couldn't-
And then she wanted Carrie to sign her. And I believe Carrie drew a penis on her or something.
No. Carrie, she drew a penis on Carrie.
She drew a penis
Yeah,
on
because
Carrie.
everyone
That's
with
what it
Courage
was.
shows what happens is that there are Sharpies passed around and everyone
Yes,
draws
thank you. I didn't
tattoos
explain
on
that.
everyone else. So, I mean, I think a lot of us still, well, actually, I think I got out scot-free. I didn't get any tattoos. Greg still has some of his on him.
Yeah, I
can see,
scrubbed them off.
I can see some
You got to really
faded-
scrub. Oh, yeah, there probably is
Yeah,
a little
some
bit on
knuckle
there.
tattoos. Yeah, so everyone was like covered. So everyone has
Yeah.
Sharpies and like you can draw like if someone wants a Sharpie tattoo. So it's really fun. It's a really fun experience. And so this girl I think drew a penis on Carrie. And then like this girl had all of her friends with her and like it wasn't like anyone's like, "Oh, trying to help her." They're all just like, "Oh, that's Mindy. That's
Yeah.
what she does." Because one of her friends actually came up to us. I'm like, "Is she all right, dude?" And there's like, "She does this every day." I'm like, "Is she like on pills or something?" And they're like, "Nope, just drunk, just
Oh.
vodka, just drinks vodka all day." I'm like, "Okay."
All right.
So that's what happened.
Well, yeah. Well, she was there.
So there was
she definitely
interpretive
got the-
dances. So thankfully she ended up leaving before Courage, or else that would have taken the wind out of Russell Spanker III's sails.
I would have been okay with that. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
He would have
that's all
liked
right.
her. Your
Yeah.
alter ego would have loved her.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's never going to be dismissed. But yeah, I think she was gone by the time we went on stage. So yeah, we got on stage, and And usually I do like a whole intro thing. Gavin just started. So if you were there watching that show, I thought Gavin was just testing his chords. And I'm
That's
like,
what I thought too.
all right, we're going. So neither Stone nor I knew we were starting. Like we were just, both of us were a little caught off guard. We're like, oh, all right.
No, because I was over getting a beer or something, and all of a sudden I heard
Usually
the
I
first
do,
chords, and I'm like, what is... Oh, okay, they're going.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there was only one person in that entire room that knew we were going right then. And that was Gavin. So that's how that happened. And then we just launched right into it and went into it. I will say, if you saw, and we're going to get back and talk about what the video and the sounds that we got to play here in a minute that happened earlier in the day. But part of it, too, if you see some of the video as it comes out, and we have lots of video that we're going to be posting of the show, you may see the sex dolls that show up in a lot of the pictures.
Greg is really excited
I was
about that.
real excited about them on stage. Gavin was, because he kept poking me with them. And
yeah, Gavin was messing with you. With
yeah,
those.
oh yeah, no, I know. Yeah, well, I was playing that up some too, but yeah, he was.
No,
was
Greg
fucking
was
with
pretty
me constantly.
irritated with the sex
He was
dolls. It
fucking
kinda
with me
funny.
constantly.
Greg wants to be the sex doll at the show.
That's fair. No, so yeah, we had 2 sex dolls that showed up that were
Courtesy of Dimitri and Carrie.
yeah, that were bounced around while we were on stage. I did see people slow dancing with them at some point.
Oh, I have
certain
videos
points.
of people dancing with them. They loved them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
At some point, they were like treated like beach balls.
Were they tossed around?
Oh yeah, they were tossed around. People were like hitting them around.
Yeah.
It was pretty hilarious.
Oh no, it was.
And there were some people there who didn't know what was going on, but they like loved it. Nobody was offended. Everyone was like taking pictures of you guys and them and throwing them at people.
Yeah, they
It was
were
a pretty
definitely
classy.
thrown at
It was
people.
a classy night.
Yeah, I think Dimitri wrote me too and said that one of them is still at Gavin's house. So
Oh yeah, I saw it's folded at Levi's Lounge. It's folded on. It's on top of his refrigerator.
that's awesome. So he'll find that.
Because I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm leaving it there, and there was a Fun Employment Radio koozie, and I just kind of set it right next to it too. I'm like, there you go.
it. There you go,
There's
bud.
a little treat for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the show was so much fun, and yeah, all I can say is we had a great time. I felt the show was good. I felt like we performed pretty well, and especially given that we don't perform that often together, I thought we did pretty good.
It was amazing.
I did. It was a very small stage. I was not used to that. Like the last few times that we played have been, and I'm just saying it's been a lot bigger stages, so I can run around. I may have kicked out my bass cord twice, at least, and had to call for Charlie
Never.
from the High Pets to come up and fix that. So I'm used to having more room to run around, so I had to try to contain it.
Yeah.
So I'll work on that.
How
next
you
time.
can't contain the rock, Greg.
Can't contain. I can't contain the rock.
Oh my goodness.
So, but it was just so much fun. And again, thank you to everybody who came up there. But one thing we haven't talked about though is that everybody who came up, because that Saturday, we were getting ready for the show that night and getting all that stuff ready, so we couldn't really get out of town. But everybody was able to get out of Anchorage and go see some of the amazing things around that city. And that's one of the things. Like I've always said this before, you go to Alaska. You go to Anchorage to get to Alaska. It's the gateway to everything. Yeah. Like an Anchorage is great for 2-3 days. It's a lot of fun. But eventually you're going to want to get out.
Yeah, because I think by the time, we were all ready to do like the Courage show, but I mean like even that like the during the day activities, they'd been exhausted, so it was good that everyone went out and explored.
Yeah, and it's really
before,
important to do that. So it was really awesome that everybody got to. So they drove down, went to the Brown Bear. So basically it's the Cook Inlet, and you can look it up on a map. I won't go too far into it. That's heading south of Anchorage. And you can drive around that, and then you can end up going down to the Kenai Peninsula, or you can go
North.
It's still kind of heading south.
Yeah.
But there's Girdwood, and which is where the ski resort is, and it's a great place. And we've talked about that before. And the Brown Bear, which is just a bar on the side of the road, and then the really weird little store that's next to it, which I think is where they got the sex
it's like
dolls.
the porn store. It's what's called like the Alaskan
Diamond Gyms or something. Or
yeah, it's like Alaskan hardcore gifts or something. I can't remember.
Something
what
like
it is.
that. Yeah. So that's where they picked up that. But they went to this other place. And this is what we're getting to with something that we have to talk about. Now, Sarah and I did not go here. And I've actually, as many times I've been up there, I've never gone to this place.
Oh my gosh. And now after like seeing all the stuff, I'm like, I am so
I
bummed
know.
that we had to work that day and we weren't able to go and do this.
Yeah. I wish I want to get there to see this thing. So there's this town called Whittier. that you can get to. And in order to get to it, you have to go through basically a 20-mile long tunnel. Is that right, Sarah?
No. So it
Or-
isn't
okay,
a
I've
20.
got it wrong.
It's a 2.5 mile long
Two
tunnel.
and a half mile. Sorry.
So this is interesting. So I was talking to everybody at the show, before when we were all just hanging out and having a beer and catching up on what we had done for the day. And so everyone in the group basically went out to this place called Whittier. But in order to get there, you have to go through this tunnel that's like 2.5 miles long. That's a single lane of traffic through a mountain that you can go through. So they leave on the half hour. So if you're heading from outside of the tunnel into Whittier, you can leave on the half hours. And if you're heading from Whittier outside, back to away from Whittier, you leave on the hours.
Okay.
So you can only go once an hour through
Yeah.
this tunnel, so that, because there's only room enough for one car.
Right.
So this is the Whittier Tunnel. It's a multi-use highway and railroad tunnel that passes underneath the Maynard Mountain.
So the railroad uses it too.
Yeah. So it's a railroad tunnel, as well. And it's, let's see, so it's the second longest highway tunnel and longest combined railroad and highway tunnel in North America. So cars leave on the half hour to Whittier from 5:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. From Whittier, they leave on the hour from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So this happened. So I want to go through that. So in order to get to this creepy town, you drive through it, and everyone, like Trina and Bob and everyone were telling me, they're like, it's like claustrophobic because, it's pitch dark in there. You can't see anything. You're smack dab in the middle of a mountain.
Oh, man.
That would give me, that reminds me of going on the Channel years and years ago.
Yeah.
Between London and Paris, where you're under the water.
Yeah.
Where it's just all darkness enveloping you. Everything could collapse on you at any time.
Right. Yeah, I get a little claustrophobic too. I don't know. I mean, I would definitely go through it.
I would absolutely do it.
But yeah, that's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
So you go through that, and then you wind up in the town of Whittier.
Yep. So you wind up in Whittier, and then in the town of Whittier, there is this place called the Buckner Building, which I cannot believe that we haven't gone to see this. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited that everybody else got to, because next time I go. I wanna
And
see this.
and I had heard of that. For some reason, I always thought it was much further away than it turns out it is. But yeah, like I said, I've never been there. So the Buckner Building. Maybe you can tell people what this town is.
Yeah. So this is it. This is Whittier. So basically, the old thing is the Buckner Building. You might want to look up the town of Whittier. Because I have this stuff about the Buckner Building. But the Buckner Building was basically one of the oldest buildings in Whittier. It was built in 1948, opened in 1953. The idea of its construction was to be an outpost where the U.S. could keep an eye on potentially suspicious Soviet activities.
Okay.
So when it was finished, it was an astounding 273,660 square feet. And it was the city.
But it was all one building.
It's all one building, so it was nicknamed the City Under One Roof.
And and that's correct. So yeah, everybody lived in the same building. The stores, the restaurants, your apartments, all of it in one.
Everything
one
was
building.
in one
So
area.
you never technically had to leave the building.
Yeah, so it had bowling alleys in it, a movie theater. It had a jail inside of it. It had everything. It was a self-contained, basically, city under one roof.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so this is
I suppose that would save a lot on heating, though, if you put everything in one building.
Yeah, because 215 people lived in it,
Yeah.
and they just it was like their own little city.
That's
So the Buckner Building was named after General Simon Buckner, who died in World War II. Yeah, so movie theater, bowling alley, a jail, and many tunnels that led to other buildings in town. Also,
wow.
it's rumored to be extremely haunted by some of the spirits of the people that stayed in there in its past. So it ended up closing in 1964 because it was heavily damaged due to the earthquake.
Right. And that's
So-
one thing in Alaska, too. Most things are built after that time period because the huge earthquake that happened up there destroyed a lot of the buildings. Like the birdhouse that we went
Yeah,
to.
that's why they had to move it, right?
Yeah, that's why they had to move it. The reason that place is slanted is because the original one was actually on the road to Girdwood. And I'm sorry for all these geographic references, but it was near where Brown Bear is. And you can pass by the old building. And when the earthquake happened, the whole building slanted. But they kept it open for a long time, even though it was slanted. And that's why with the reincarnated version that's at Chilkoot Charlie's, that's why it's slanted. It's to represent what it was like after the earthquake.
I love that
the original
slanted
building.
bar.
So
Yeah.
the whole bar is slanted at an angle.
It's very trippy.
Yeah.
So now they actually left this old building up. So there is another building that now the current tenants all live in. They reconstructed one. It's a newer building, but this big creepy one is the one that everybody's fascinated with.
Yeah.
So this is So when they're asked why they don't take it down, it's like because it's in such a remote location, getting rid of all of that rubble and everything
Yeah,
would be so. There's no point.
Yeah,
So they
it'd be a
just
pain
leave
in
it
the ass.
standing. So a lot of people have seen like a lot of like orbs and different things inside of the building, and this is called Whittier because of this is called the most haunted town in Alaska. And there is another reason why it might be called this, because we have a friend who, when they were in the town of Whittier and were looking at the Buckner building, may or may not have in fact
We don't know how it was acquired. Maybe he didn't film
gone
it.
inside. I mean, it
Or
could have
she.
been him. It was Bob.
Or whoever
It
it
was
was.
Bob. Bob did it.
Oh, you just ratted out Bob.
He said it was okay. I'm like, Bob, we can give you like a nickname. And he's just like, I don't care. He's like, I'm sure they have a lot more on their plate than trying to track down
down
some guy
Bob.
in Portland who got into the
Got a whole team on it.
who got into the Buckner building.
Yeah.
So the Buckner building, it is very ill-advised to go inside because there's a lot of like water damage. There's water everywhere.
It's a
You can-
crumbling building.
It's a crumbling, damaged, earthquake broken building. But a lot of people go in because it's notoriously haunted. It's it's super creepy.
Well, and I'll say this: if you're watching the video stream of Fun Employment Radio today, and I'll put this up on YouTube, I'll put it up public today. Normally, this would be something only for the supporters club, but I'll put this live because Bob did give us this video, or whoever. Oh yeah, we're beyond that now. I forgot. Bob. Yeah, I've got the video that he filmed walking through, and we'll go ahead and play that while we're doing this. But there's a certain part in particular where.
All right, let me just say, so I got this email from Bob
Okay.
last night, and he was like, "Holy shit, Sarah!" He's like, "I just finally," because we had talked all about.
And the video's playing right now, so you know.
Okay, so are you playing the audio of it?
I didn't have the audio pulled up yet.
Okay, so Bob was like, "Holy shit, Sarah's watching this," and he's like, "I think I caught something on my video. I'm gonna send this to you and Greg and let you know what you think." And he sent it to us, and I listened to it this morning, so I was too scared last night. Oh my god!
Well, I'll let it go. So I'm going to pull up the audio.
All right, so
So you
there's
can
all
hear
the
it.
water you can hear.
And there's a certain part here where you're going to hear somebody in the background yelling for Bobby, yelling for Bob.
So that's Carrie who's yelling for Bobby.
And then you'll hear something else right afterward. And we'll play this back again here in a minute. But I'll just let the audio go for right now.
So as you can see the video, it is terrifying.
Yeah, so this is the sound as they're walking through this thing. And again, you can watch this video on our YouTube page.
All right, now wait for a couple seconds after you hear Bobby.
It's coming up here in just a second. Sorry, try to get the precise moment.
Okay, here it comes. All right, so
Okay.
I don't know if you could hear that as clearly as we could. I didn't know what Bob thought that it had said,
Yeah.
but I got chills when I heard that, and Greg and I both looked at each other and were like, "Did that say, what's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name?"
So that's what it sounds like it's saying, something. And we asked Bob, we're like, are you fucking with this? Is this something that you and
And Bob was
Dimitri
like,
came up with or
you
something?
know him. He's like the nicest person on the planet.
Well, yeah, that's
Him and
wouldn't put it
Scott
beyond-
Daly are tied.
I wouldn't
yeah.
put him beyond the messing with us.
This is true.
But but I don't. He said he's not.
Yeah,
and I'm going to
he's-
play it again one more time. And again, if you're listening to the audio podcast, probably you'll want to rewind it. But I'll play this through. I've got a clip I'll kind of loop here that'll just play that. And I want to know what people think this is, what's being said here. So let me pull it up again. So this will loop. It's a much shorter loop. Did I loop it too
You looped
short?
it too short.
Fuck, god damn
But
it.
that did sound creepy with the Bobby.
I did. I looped it too short. I worked so hard on getting that loop right. I apologize. Oh, that sucks. So yeah, so I screwed that up. So why don't we just play the audio? Do you have the audio pulled up? Let's
Sure.
play the audio version.
Yeah, hang on. Let me
So
just
you've seen the
grab it.
video. Yeah, so we have this as a backup here.
Mhm.
So Sarah will play the audio.
All right, here we go.
Carrie says, I don't think that was me calling Bobby.
There it was, right
Okay,
there. All right,
I'll
here I'm
pull
gonna go
this up,
back.
So you just go ahead and...
Yeah, I don't like that because listening with my stereo headphones, you can hear like this. What's your name?
Okay, I'm going to turn it up even higher here.
Okay, am I replaying it?
Yeah, let's replay it one more time.
Okay, this is creeping me out.
Yeah.
I don't
It
fucking
sounds like saying,
that
what's
one
your
bit.
name?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
That's what I thought. I didn't have any, like, nobody was guiding me to think that would be what it was. Like, I heard that, you heard that.
It sounds like what's your name? And that is so freaky. All right, let's hear it one more time.
Okay, am I playing it?
Yeah, it's all going to be
Okay,
on your end.
hang on.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
my
Let
end
me
is...
pull it back up.
I looped it wrong.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. All right, I'm pulling it back. And Carrie is saying that she doesn't think that was her yelling Bobby.
Well, if that's the case, then that's extra screwed up, unless Carrie's messing with us. That's messed up.
And plus, if you know what Bob's voice sounds like, that is not Bob's voice. That's not what his voice sounds like.
Yeah, that's screwed up. That's weird.
What's your name?
What's your name? So that's walking through the empty building. And again, the video's there. You can watch on our YouTube channel, Fun Employment Radio. That's weird.
That gives me goosebumps.
That's really weird.
No, because I'm glad, because when Bob wrote me last night and he's like, it's freaking me out. And I'm like, I was trying to get ready to go to sleep. I'm like, I don't think I should watch that tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm really very glad that I didn't.
Yeah.
That would have scared me, like alone in my apartment. What's your name?
What's your name? Well, and if neither, who was out there? There was
Unless
female.
maybe it was Trina. Yeah,
Carrie,
so
Trina, and Lisa. But if neither one of them,
I'm sure
said
one of them
Bobby,
said
yeah,
it.
One of them must have said Bobby.
One
Because
of
it's too
them-
much of a
yes.
coincidence that it's Bob that's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
But what's your name? What's your name?
That's the reason why, because it sounds like layered when they're saying it.
What's your name? Let's hear it one more time.
Oh God.
One more time.
Okay.
I just want to
pull
hear
it
it one more
back.
time,
All right.
and then we'll.
Let me go to 120. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up. Dude, that's not cool.
That is messed up.
That's like really, I can't wait to play this for Aaron. I bet.
That's really, really weird. What's your name? What's your name?
That's solid too, because sometimes you hear things that you can like kind of,
Yeah.
especially on those ghost hunter shows, like the television ones are like, I sense a presence. You're like, well, what's the proof
Right.
that you're sensing something?
Right.
Like Bob is just a guy breaking into a building who just happened to be recording. and then, what's your name?
What's your name? Yeah, that's really strange. So that's what happened.
Bob said, for the record, hearing it like this is much, much worse.
Yeah. Is Bob listening right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, man.
That's making me uncomfortable, quite honestly.
That's yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
if anyone has any,
that's creepy.
I
Any
don't
insights
know.
on that? And again, well, the video's up. You can loop back the video. Ignore the loop section that I had, but you can just play it back and see this.
That's what, Greg, that was like 2 seconds. You're fine.
No, I know. I just
Yeah.
so it's clear.
Whatever that scream. Yeah, we need to ask Trina. I'm sure that was Trina.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like that whole sequence, like that, Bobby, what's your name?
What's your name? That's
It's
messed
like
up,
some
man.
weird, creepy, like ghost song.
I don't know.
I
That
don't
is
like
really
it.
weird.
All right, can we just change the?
Yeah. Yeah, we can change it up.
All right.
Do you want to do some like World of Crazy
Yeah,
or something?
I'm trying to play it, but you have me paused.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's
Yep.
fine.
There we go. Hello, my friends. My name is Sarah Stillen. Welcome to my
That's
world of
strange.
crazy. Crazy.
Crazy. Sorry, I'm thinking about it. It's really
Yeah, don't think. All right,
weird.
let's move forward from it for now. It's terrifying. Like, are we getting cursed because we've been playing it?
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it's going to be.
You don't know that for sure.
No, you're right.
I mean, I was looking at other videos, like other YouTube videos of people who have gone in and like have recordings. Nothing is like this one. Like Bob has the gold standard.
Well, thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
with us.
thank you, Bob, for giving us all nightmares. What's your name?
What's your name? Edward's saying that from now on, FER trips need to include haunted places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So from now on, when we're learning about the
So
FER
I wonder-
adventures, so we'll put a haunted place into every FER adventure then from now on. I think
Greg.
that's a good idea.
What if it's not what's your name? What if that's it? It's saying that's your name because there's a Bobby, and then what if it was saying like that's your name?
Play it one more time.
All right, I'm gonna play it one more time.
Okay.
Hang on, let me mute this.
I think that's
Because
it. Sorry,
that's
we're
weird that
playing
it
this
comes-
over and over, but
Because he films for like a minute and 15 seconds before anything happens, and then it's right when. 'Cause I wonder if it's probably what's your name, but just in case. I mean, but if it's right after someone says Bobby,
All
and then
right.
that's your name.
okay.
All right,
Let's
hang
play it one more time. And then we'll...
I don't know. It could be either.
I don't know.
It sounds like it could be that's your name. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know.
All right.
All right, anyway.
Well, let us know what you think. Send us an email, funemploymentradio@gmail.com. Or
All right,
comment
Vicky's-
on this video.
Vicky's saying that's what I was thinking too, Sarah. Yeah, 'cause it's right after. That's strange. It's right after the name calling. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right. Anyway, first up. Hey, you like riding motorcycles? Anybody?
Sure.
Well, Harley Davidson is seeking interns to spend their entire summers riding motorcycles for free. All you have to do is update your travels on social media. So they're seeking paid interns willing to spend their summers riding around on motorcycles, chronicling their experiences on social media. So it's called a Find Your Freedom internship, which is a 12-week program for full-time interns to learn how to ride motorcycles and be brand enthusiasts on social media. That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty cool. I would wreck the motorcycle, though. That'd
Yeah,
be my
I mean,
problem.
not for
it's
you,
not
for
me.
anybody else.
Yeah.
Not for you.
No.
So Harley Davidson says, we'll teach you how to ride, give you a bike, and pay you to discover motorcycle culture while you find freedom on the open road. This sounds
That's pretty
amazing.
awesome. That's
And
a-
at the end of it, at the end of your full-time paid internship, you get to keep your bike.
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
So this is for
So
so
just
if
ride
you
around
are,
the country on your bike and
yeah. So if you're in college, I mean, because you can be in college at any age now. So it says it doesn't have an age limit. It just says the internship's ideal for a junior or senior level college student or equivalent or a graduate looking to pursue a career in social media. So if you'd like to apply,
Wow.
applications are being accepted through May 11th. You can make a video, write an essay, create a photo collage, whatever you want to apply for this.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're doing this in lieu of the fact that motorcycle sales have been down. So now they're willing to pay some
Step
folks
it
to
up.
ride around on their
Post
motorcycles
pictures.
and post pictures.
Wow. Have you ever ridden a motorcycle? Like a motorcycle? I know you have
No,
your
I had
scooter.
my scooter.
Yeah.
No, I've never ridden. I've ridden on the back of one,
Yeah.
but never actually driven one. No, those. I was kind of a little scared on my scooter when I'd be going 35. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
A little too fast for me.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah.
I'm too
I
clumsy.
crashed a few times.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm too clumsy. I think that's the third time I've said that today.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bicycle is A-okay with me.
Right.
I like to ride my bicycle.
Yeah.
I like to ride my bike. All right. Well, since we are back from Alaska, have this news story. I figured that you might like this.
Okay.
A man who was in the news just about a year or two ago about surviving a bear attack now is back in the news after getting bitten by a shark. He survived both of them.
Wow.
This guy's name is Dylan McWilliams. We talked about him after the bear attack because you were talking about how terrifying this was. So this is a 20-year-old from Grand Junction, Colorado. So he's vacationing in Kauai. Oh, so we've been there.
Yep.
When he was bitten by a shark while boogie boarding.
I
Off a-
boogie boarded in Kauai.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was bitten by a shark.
Ugh.
This is okay. So I guess the bear thing was less than a year ago. It was less than a year after McWilliams was attacked by a 300-pound black bear while camping in Boulder County, Colorado. So first to the shark. We go back to the shark. This person's going this way and that with this story. So McWilliams was about 30 yards from the shore when he was knocked off his board and suddenly felt searing pain in his right leg.
30 yards is nothing there. I mean, you can walk out for
Yeah, that's
forever.
nothing. I know.
You can walk out a
I went-
couple hundred yards probably.
I went snorkeling way out there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, now this is getting too real.
Yeah.
Bears and sharks and bears. Oh, my.
Yeah.
All right, so he was about 30 yards from shore when he was knocked off of his board and suddenly felt a searing pain in his right leg. He said, at first I panicked. I didn't know if I lost half my leg or what. Well, he says he believes that the animal attacked him, that the animal that attacked him was a 7-foot tiger shark. He saw stripes
God,
on it.
ugh. That's
he-
creepy.
And he kicked it hard before attempting to swim to shore. He said that was the scariest part. I didn't know where the shark was, and I didn't know if he would keep coming back after me. He said bystanders helped get him to an emergency room and helped him back to shore. Although the injury wasn't life-threatening, he suffered some deep cuts in his leg.
Deep cuts.
It's the deep cuts. He said an experience like that might keep some people afraid of the ocean, but he said they won't keep him from boogie boarding. Said he's just mad that he can't get back in the water for a couple days. Oh, boy.
So this guy was attacked. How bad was the bear
Attacked by
attack?
an owl,
No,
not an
attacked by
owl.
an owl.
Not an owl, by
so
a
what
bear.
happened-
So last year, this is when he got attacked by a bear in Boulder County, Colorado. No, we had this story about him because I remember you talking about how terrifying this was.
Yeah, it was probably right after I watched The Revenant too.
It was when the bear bit him on his head and
Yeah.
wouldn't let go.
Ugh. You could probably hear the teeth.
So the bear, yes, this is exactly what you said last
That's
time,
what I
and you don't
remember.
need to repeat that.
Yeah.
So the bear grabbed
Oh,
him by
God.
the head and started pulling him back. And he fought him as best as he could. So he started flailing and spazzing out, was able to get the bear to drop him. The bear then stomped on him a little bit, and then he was able to get back to his group, and they all were able to scare it away. So also, so being a magnet for animal attacks, he says he holds no grudge against nature. He just figures he's been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I mean, let me just say, because you just watched the movie about the bear.
Yeah.
With Alec Baldwin and
Fuck bears.
Yeah. Now,
No, now that movie changed my perspective on bears. Usually I'm like, oh, no.
now
The
the
bear.
one you should never, ever, ever, ever watch is The Revenant.
I know. That's what you've been telling me, and I never
That
have a desire
scene
to.
is horrifying and so real looking. Where it's a famous scene, Leonardo DiCaprio getting attacked by the bear. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
And it goes on forever.
I will never watch that movie.
I've seen
so
it
that's
one
cool.
time. That's enough for me. It's a decent enough movie. But that scene alone, it makes you sick to your stomach.
Yeah,
Like how they filmed that, I still don't even understand how they made it look that real.
not
Ba-
going to do it.
Bears aren't anything to fuck with.
Oh, and also for the trifecta, this is a little bullet point. Also, 3 years ago, he was bitten by a rattlesnake in Utah.
No, what? This guy's been
Yeah.
bitten by a rattlesnake, a bear, and a shark.
Hiking in Utah.
I mean, that's nature telling you something. Like you need to get an office
Get a
job.
desk job.
Yeah, you need to never leave the house
Join
again.
a bowling league.
And at
You
that
should-
point, and everybody should be understanding of you for
Yeah.
wanting to do that. Be like, "Whoa, come on, man, you should get outside more." It's like, "Well, been bit by a rattlesnake, a bear, and a shark."
Now, does that
Totally understandable.
Does that make you want to go hiking with him more or less? Because he's like you with bugs, where all the bugs are drawn
I'm just with
to
bugs.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm saying like since-
South America, you would want me in South America.
Totally, but like with him, like, do you think that he'd be more of a liability? Do you want to go with him because he's drawing attention to these animals and he's putting you in danger, or like they're all so attracted to him that you'll be safe because the percentage will most likely go to him being attacked?
I think the fact that I've done all of those things, camped and been in areas with rattlesnakes and sharks, and I haven't been, thankfully, not bitten by
way
any
to
of
throw
them.
that out.
I think I want to stay away from him. I don't think I want to go anywhere near him
Okay.
because the chances of getting caught up in that with him being around, obviously there's something about him that attracts it. No, I don't want to be around him.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I feel like being around you when the bugs are out, it doesn't help me at all.
Well, usually people are helped out by
No,
that.
no, they're not helped out because you draw them all in. So that's why I don't think that I'd want to, because I don't. Just because one person is more likely to get like the brunt of some sort
Yeah.
of attack doesn't mean that you want to invite the attack in the first place.
I don't know. I've had a lot of people say they love going camping with me because they don't get bit by anything.
Okay.
Sorry, am I lying, making that?
I don't know. I think you might be. I think you might be.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And do have one final story. Thank you to everyone who sent this to me. And they're like, oh, this made me think of Greg. A man who has been convicted of stealing $1.2 million
Wait, why does that make anybody think of me?
in fajitas
Oh,
has been sentenced to 50 years in prison.
that's a lot of 50 years.
50 years in prison.
Okay, how do you get your hands on $1.2 million?
Greg, I'm
of
so
fajitas?
glad that you asked me that. I have a story
That's a lot of
to
fajitas.
solve that answer for you. A former Texas Juvenile Center employee who confessed last week to stealing $1.2 million in fajitas received a 50-year prison sentence after his admission. So here's what happened. Officers last summer found fajitas in the fridge of Gilberto Escamilla, a then employee of the Cameron County Juvenile Justice Department, who later admitted to purchasing, stealing, and then reselling the fajitas over the years.
Black market fajitas.
Black market fajitas. Escamilla says, it was selfish. It started small and got bigger and out of control. It got to the point where I just couldn't control it anymore. Him and his black market fajitas. Well, he drew attention to himself because he got a little bit too greedy when an 800-pound fajita delivery to the detention center sparked confusion when it arrived in San Benito, about 10 miles north of the Mexico border. That's because that particular detention center that he worked at did not serve fajitas.
Oh. You screwed that one up.
Well, Escamilla, who was the one who had ordered it, he was the employee who was usually there to receive the soon-to-be stolen goods, decided to take the day off that day. Uh-oh. But a trail of invoices eventually led investigators to Escamilla totaling the theft at $1,251,578.
I mean, that's a lot of fajitas, but 50 years? That seems a bit excessive.
Well, Cameron County Assistant District Attorney Peter Gilman says that he asked for the 50-year sentencing to send a strong message so that people would not steal.
Don't steal fajitas.
And the judge decided to agree. So now this guy, because he was
Yeah, but
selling black market fajitas, is doing 50
all right,
years
so it's
in prison.
1.2 million in fajitas, but how much is that going to cost? Like, just let alone that's not fair. But let alone taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
it's going to cost a lot more than $1.2 million in taxpayer dollars to punish this guy for his fajita thievery. No.
Greg, I don't know. I can't
No.
question their
You
justice
can't steal
system.
fajitas, but they are delicious. Now, the other thing is, who's buying these fajitas?
I don't
Like,
know.
he's running around. I'm like, hey, man, you want some fajitas? Like, I mean, somebody's
Is it like
been-
people who are selling them, like the tamale guy in my neighborhood?
That'd be a lot of work.
That would be a lot of work.
I mean, that'd be more work than it's worth, I would think.
I don't know. I don't know about the black meat market.
Black market fajita market. I
Yeah.
think restaurants are buying them.
That could be it. That could be it. Well, who's to say? Well, you know what? He's not going to be selling meat for a long time.
Who's
because
his distributors? Like, they go after some like lower fish and work their way up to him.
I just don't know. I just don't know what to tell
Like
you.
a guy in a corner, like, hey man, you want a fajita? Like, if it was wrapped, I'd be like, oh,
All right, stop talking about
Yeah, man,
fajitas
I'll
now
take
because I'm
a
very
fajita.
hungry. That sounds really good.
I'll take a
All
fajita.
right, well, there you have it. Don't sell black market fajitas. And that, my friends, is your world to crazy.
Crazy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Does that make you badass to have been bitten by a
No. Bitten by. I thought you were going to talk about black market fajitas. I'm like,
No.
What?
For the
No.
rattlesnake, bear, and shark thing. I mean, you have 3 stories for
It's the
the rest of your life.
trifecta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have something else real quick.
I don't know if it makes you cool or not. Oh man, that's creepy.
All right, you know what I'm also noticing in the video was right before that, there is some weird.
Okay, well, I have to pull up
Shadow.
the video to make that work, and I don't think I can do that.
Okay. It looks like there is some weird. All right, maybe not. I don't know. It looked like somebody was standing there.
Well, I screwed up the video, so I don't know if I've got that on there.
Oh, God. I don't know. I need to stop looking
Okay.
at this. It's actually making my eyes water and creeping
Okay.
me out quite a bit.
Well, you can rewind and watch the entire video if you're watching on the YouTube channel there about halfway through when we played that. That's when
Yeah.
you can see it.
All right. All right. Is that all she wrote?
Yeah, I think that's all she wrote for
All
today.
right. Now that we're all good and freaked out, go and enjoy this beautiful day if you live here in Portland, Oregon. It's going to be in the low 80s. Low to mid
Are we
80s.
doing like a weather girl report right here?
Sure am,
Is this
Greg.
what's going on? A weather
Oh!
person?
Weather person. Yes. Thank
Yes.
you, Greg.
Yes.
All right. Well, we do have a birthday that we need to get to
Okay.
before we forget.
Excellent.
And I want to give a big shout out to our buddy, Michael Caruso.
Michael.
Michael, we hope you have a fabulous birthday.
Happy birthday, Michael.
Happiest of birthdays, buddy.
Pull this in.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
Sorry.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
A hot damn right.
Boom, boom, boom. All
Excellent.
right, excellent.
All right. Well, and thank you once again to everybody who joined us on the for the Fun Employment Radio adventure to Alaska. And
Honestly, you made our dream come true.
was-
And thank you for just being the most amazing group of people. And
yeah, 100%.
it was just
It was fantastic.
It was just
was
so
really
fun.
great.
Like from going around and watching like prostitute fights to like going and
The things you can't plan for.
I know blowing the ptarmigan and laughing and listening to music and walking down the streets and looking just surrounded by mountains. It was just a magical. Getting a sunburn, that was the weirdest part.
Right? Sunburn in Alaska.
Sunburn in Alaska.
And there will be, for those of you that didn't make it, that couldn't make it, we have lots of videos and footage that's going to be going up on Instagram. It's actually some really cool stuff.
You can see what it's like hanging out with us.
Yeah, and that's going to be on our Instagram page, on our YouTube channel, on Twitter and Facebook. So please follow us on all of that stuff because A, it helps us out a lot, and B, you get to see when we post cool things or stuff. There's stuff that we don't talk about on the show that will be just posted on there. So lots of stuff to follow on that, and it'll give you an idea for the next FER adventure of what they're kind of like because they're pretty fun. So next one's going to be completely different
Who
kind
knows?
of adventure.
Who knows where it will be?
We got some ideas.
We do.
So we'll let you know when those come up again. So
I
thank
feel like
you.
doing the show also has helped my voice. Listen
Yep,
to this.
you warm it up a little bit.
At the beginning, I was a 10-year-old boy. Now I'm sounding a lot better.
Yeah, you made it into Peter Brady.
I did. I'm sure. Just intermittent squeaking. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Again,
Also-
send us an email, funemploymentradio@gmail.com.
And everybody said, okay, do your thing, and then I want to just do something for you real
Let's
quick.
call 503-575-9120.
Everyone send good vibes Greg's way because he has an important thing that he's doing today.
That's true.
So just everyone just think good thoughts for him because something might be going well for him. If you
Yeah.
can believe it. Knock on
Maybe.
wood.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Knock on wood, Greg.
Yep. Knock on wood.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And send us an email. Let us know what you think was on that. And we'll be back tomorrow with more Fun Employment Radio.